Hello friends! Welcome back to my channel. Today is a little bit different of a video. I'm going to be doing some sketchbook walkthroughs of previous sketchbooks that I have, I guess, technically completed. All the way back in high school to college to recently. So we'll be flipping through some of those. I'll just be chatting about what I remember from some of those different things. So we'll start off with one of the oldest sketchbooks that I can remember having. The very first sketch. I played League of Legends in high school, I'm sorry. And a little bit into college. But this is a sketch from high school of, this is supposed to be Annie and Tibbers having a tea party. There's a cupcake trap over here for Caitlin. I think Knife Cat was Rengar, and I don't remember what this was supposed to be. But moving along through, we have some random little sketches. I wrote a lot of sad poetry. So a lot of those scribbles that you see, also some of these are like from college. Like this was from my job, actually after college was this. So I think I went through and reused some pages in this sketchbook that weren't fully done. But lots of little doodles and different things. This one I actually really do like. It is based on a reference photo, I think from National Geographic or one of the photographers from National Geographic, and I changed some of the colors, but I did this in freshman year of college and first went over with pencil and then, which you can kind of see some of those lines in here, and then went over it with colored pencil. I think it turned out really well. This is an ex-boyfriend that I drew in a maid outfit because I thought it was funny. And a self-portrait. Another self-portrait with the words "Welcome to Hell." This, I think, was someone gave me a prompt to draw a narwhal and a elephant who were best friends, and this is what I came up with. Not my favorite. I still struggle with like, how do you transition without it just being a blunt edge? I don't know. And then a reference from probably Pinterest. And probably another reference from Pinterest. Ooh, blank pages. Wow. More poetry. I was very into writing lyrics for songs. I don't think I drew this. I don't know who drew this one, but that definitely was not me. I also don't recognize this. I don't know whose signature this is, and I don't recognize the handwriting, so who knows. Another reference from Pinterest. I at one point wanted to get this tattooed, like sun and moon, and I'll be honest, I cannot read what the writing is in between. I also was thinking about getting like a underboob tattoo with like this or something in this design. Honestly, I still would like to get something like that. This is like a little hard to see, but it's a little thumbnail. And I think the larger one is in here somewhere. Another Pinterest reference, another Pinterest reference. I think this one ended up being one of my very first digital backgrounds. Again, you can see me struggling with how to transition things, so I opted to just not transition things. I forgot that I did a sketch of this and I really liked the sketch. Some product design stuff. This was for one of my first design classes that was actually to get into the design major at UW, which I did not end up getting into, but we were supposed to create a book cover for 1984. So these were kind of coming up with different design ideas. You can kind of see some of those different iterations. This obviously also is from Pinterest reference, because where else would it be? This is the full, I guess, quote unquote finished artwork from the thumbnail from earlier. I'll be honest, I don't remember what this was for. And that's it for that first sketchbook. I'll go to this one now, which is a little bit smaller. I'll be honest, I don't fully remember what era this was from, but I think I used this for a design class or an art class. I guess you can see me talking about 4-person table with included chairs. I don't remember what that was. Or stairs. Maybe we were supposed to like figure out how to redesign everyday things. This I did make into a design, and I believe I put it as a sticker when I was using one of those like on-demand separate sites, but I haven't put it up on my website because I think Pooh Bear with a shirt is still technically copyrighted, although like honestly I don't care that much about copyright because I have so much fan art stuff, but I just haven't put it up. I don't know. I'm not in love with the design. This is a sketch of one of the buildings in the university district, and I did a few of these. This is the post office in the university district, because I was doing a poster for the U District Street Fair and then did this. You can see at this point I really loved those banners, and that love has not gone away. And U District Street Fair. This was a sketch for a logo for a Smash tournament and a logo commission that I got while in college. This was a sketch of a D&D character that I actually played somewhat recently as well. Her name is Alice. She is an Azamar and has a pseudo-dragon familiar. This one's fun. So this was for my senior project in college for art, and I decided to do a mixture of mono printing and digital art, and did it based on my experience as someone who is biracial and what that was like. So I did through the different kind of stages growing up, of like elementary to middle school and high school to college, and kind of how those different things. You can see some more of that, and had two pieces. So like you can see the one is cut off, and that is because, do I have another picture of it? I'm not seeing one. Actually, this should, well, this is 3 or 2? I think this is 3. But you can see like how the numbers are cut off. That's because each of these is a pair. One of those is like more traditional mediums with monoprint, and one of those is more digital, and they're supposed to represent like the two different sides of my racial identity, one being Asian and one being white, and kind of what my experience with each of those sides was at that time period. This looks like coding. No, this is math. I did math in this sketchbook, which feels illegal. This is so much math. Some more design work, notes. You can see that I use my sketchbooks for like everything. Some more sketches. These are references from Pinterest once again, probably. I don't remember what this was about. This is like a data visualization with horsepower and cars. Okay. So many notes. Another physically drawn out data visualization. Peach and Mario, which is very fun. Another like web design, wireframe, sketches. This was brainstorming new PNSN, which is the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network logos. And I worked there in undergrad as well as after I graduated as their designer. You can see some more. I still really like this design idea. It definitely doesn't go with like what they're wanting as like seismograph vibe. You can see some more logo iterations, different logo iterations for Smash tournaments. Oh, and I actually have an extra page left in that sketchbook as well. We'll go through this big one now. And I definitely used this one for art homework, which is probably why there's some like little pink papers and sticky notes in there. But look at that, more math homework in my sketchbook. More hands. These were definitely still life art homework from college. There's some shoes, more shoes. I'm sure the assignment was that we had to do it from different angles. Ooh, more wireframes. Fun little background. Reese, my fiance, and I met in college, and we didn't start dating until multiple years after both of us graduated. But we were very, very close friends in college, and this was actually my design to paint his GameCube controller because we both played Super Smash Bros. We have another sketch of an ex-partner. Some more wireframes. Oh yes, we have lots of things. I think this was design homework. We have a note that says great sketches, but you don't have to cram them on one page, because I crammed them on one page. I also have notes from my teacher, beautiful sketching, but you're missing a number of them. This professor thought I had excellent drawing skills, because again, this was design homework rather than like art homework. So love the compliments. And obviously those were from multiple different things. And this is probably a lot of design homework, like coming up with different icons maybe, and some different ideas. Ah yes, one of refillable Keurig cups, because the amount of waste that like Keurig cups and things like that have, insanity. Some storyboards from design, and I don't know how well y'all can see it, but like there are things on the back sides of these pages that I'm generally just not showing you. More design ideas. Shark. This is definitely not my original artwork. I definitely looked at another piece of art and didn't trace, but did like copy from that. I don't know the artist's name. The sharks are very cute though, but I cannot take credit. More design. I think the sketchbook is a lot of design. There's an apple and a note that says need to cut, and I don't know what that means. These are from my monoprinting class in school, in college, and I used these to create some stencils that I put on top of those monoprints. And I really like how they turned out, but they were absolutely all about my relationship with my ex-partner, and that relationship didn't end the greatest. So they're kind of tainted, unfortunately. Go to this little mini notebook. I got this sketchbook, this tiny little thing, as a part of being in one of the HCDE, which is Human-Centered Design and Engineering, which was one of my majors in college. So it definitely has a lot more small sketches, and I don't know if these were for anything. They might have been for a design class. Like, one of the ideas in design is just kind of get everything that you, like any idea that you can, out onto the paper, and then we can narrow down all of those ideas later. So these look like different design ideas, and they might have been related to some of those design classes, and like we call it ideation. More notes. This was probably from freshman year when we had to go do a research observation session, and I sat in the library and looked at people doing random things and wrote down notes about it. This looks like a lot of design homework. This is from my visual design class, extra story time. I hated this visual design professor. She might have been a fine person and like a fine teacher, but she should not have been teaching visual design. Her background was a nature illustrator, which makes sense why she had us.
I thought you'd be done by now.
No.
Some treats so I can train her upstairs.
Okay.
She was such a good girl. She was just sleeping while I was watching my show.
Well, good girl.
I know, right? But I figured I'd give her some training.
Goose, are you a good girl? Blossom. Hi.
Oh, look at that little nap.
So this professor might have been a fine teacher and a fine person, but she absolutely should not have been teaching a visual design class. I believe her background was in like nature illustration, which makes sense why this was an assignment to illustrate plants. And the way she structured her classes is a lot of the times she would have kind of an overarching subject for the day. And keep in mind, these are usually like 2-hour-long classes. She would have people, like students, group up, go out and find, one of the examples that I remember is we had a lesson on typography, and she had like a list of different font types, and then she had everyone group up and go out onto campus, like a scavenger hunt, to go find different examples of these font types, and then had us come back and present to each other about it. And I don't think I learned anything at all from that class. Whereas like what I might have expected to learn is some of the basics of like visual design, like balance and symmetry and hierarchy and how to highlight different things visually. I learned a lot more about visual design from our professional class, where we had to develop a portfolio and a resume. That was like an hour class every week. So she either left or was not invited back for teaching the next quarter afterwards. These were definitely people that I saw out and about and I drew. But she was not invited back or decided not to come back for the quarter afterwards, which great for the other students, sad for me because I didn't actually get to learn anything in visual design. These are little thumbnail things for my only screen print that I have done for an MC Design Studio. And that is the Forest Storytime print, which I feel like I may have hidden on my website at this point because I did it so long ago. And these are the original sketches for the backyard flower shop flowers. Original like layout ideas for that. I think this was one of my friends wanted to do a like draw timber type thing, and so came up with a prompt list or shared a prompt list with me and another friend, and we kind of went through that together. So they're just little sketches from that. I forgot. I also did Drawtober or Inktober. And I think this is one of the years that I actually finished. You can see I put out the lists in my backing sheet so that I wouldn't stain the next page. But I believe all of these illustrations are up on Instagram in one of the story highlights, because I shared all of these to stories when I did them. A lot of these utilized reference photos from Pinterest because I just wanted very quick, easy things to do. And a lot of this is marker, but there's definitely some pen in here as well, which I'm sure you've noticed. These are from puzzles from a game called The Witness. And it was a puzzle game that Reese was playing through, and this was before we were dating. And it was during COVID, and he would play and I would watch him play and help with the puzzles. And some of them I needed to draw down so that I could try and figure them out, because otherwise I was unable to. This is one of the first print tests from my pups print. This one's Benji. And ooh, we also have some extra little pages at the end here that I haven't used. Then we've got the last sketchbook. I have more other sketchbooks too, but I wanted to kind of keep it a little bit shorter, hopefully, even though this already feels like it's been a long time. So this is my most recent sketchbook. And we have a random page and Gus. This was an attempt at doing one of the October drawing things like Sketchtober or Inktober, and I only got 3 days in. I had wanted to try working with watercolor, and that proved to be my downfall because I'm not patient and waiting between letting things dry and such, and that made me forget to finish. These are a bunch of random sketches, some ideas for like the We Carry TVs, TV Club shirts. I actually think I have a Instagram reel of me doing this one, peach drawing. It's done in colored pencil. And here's sketches for my D&D TTRPG little sticker sheet. Here's another very early sketch of the D&D or Dragons and Dice. There's another one, like different little thumbnails for that. I worked on doing some art for a different Smash tournament hosted in Vancouver, BC. So that's what this design is. It's the little sky train going through with the city and the mountains and then the ocean. And also had an idea of doing like Marth playing volleyball with like some other characters, but I am not the greatest at like digital character art, I think, and so I never actually made that. Here's like one of the first drafts of the Princess Daisy print and sketches of some Stardew stuff that turned into the Junimo sticky note pad and the sticker sheet. I think it's very funny that I just have random pages. Ooh, here's more D&D sticker sheet stuff. Here's the original sketch for the Fremont neighborhood Seattle print. This sketch I also really like and was done along with this one, but these are both from pieces at the Seattle Art Museum. I went with some friends and we sat and sketched for a little bit. Some test prints. This is a map and plan for Minecraft Village. I was playing Minecraft with Reese, my fiance, and wanted to plan out like spatial wise where I wanted different things to be, and I figured I would just draw it out because that is the easiest. Because essentially we went into a village, tore everything down and imprisoned the villagers, and then I was working on rebuilding a bunch of the different things in different styles. This is another Drawtober or Inktober. I made it farther on this one, but I still did not finish, I don't believe. I also don't think I posted all of these to Instagram, so you might get to see, like I don't think I posted these ones to Instagram, so some new ones. Along with these, we have Tail. I also just took my Minecraft sketch and turned it into town. But those ones definitely never got posted. We have more figure drawing. and then testing out my new like logo stamps. This was designed for Got Buns Hun, which was a gift that me and my friends collaborated to give Reese. And he has a shirt, and not quite booty shorts, but he has shorts that have buns on the butt cheeks that says Got Buns Hun. This is actually my sketch for my tattoo that's on my arm. And I sketched out kind of what I was thinking for the tattoo artist to give them kind of an idea. And it is this tattoo that kind of goes around. You can see the clock tower, all of that jazz. There is the plane on the other side as well. So that's a fun little thing that's in my sketchbook. We have the Queen Anne sketch, some sketches from camping, but are also in a reel somewhere. This is a sketch of the lake from that same camping trip, and I have a started watercolor of this that I have not finished. This is from a past, like the sketch page drawing that I did with a couple of friends. I believe I have a reel up of the digital one that we did, but I didn't have a reel up of the physical one that we did. So a lot of these are done with like oil pastels, which is really fun. And these are the sketches for the Peachtober prints that I did last year. As you can see, those guys. And we have the Northgate print and an in-progress Capitol Hill print. I meant to get this out like this year in June with my, or I guess technically I think it was in May, my shop update, but I, for some reason, just could not bring myself to finish this guy. So it is going to live in here until it gets done, but we do have University District done back there. And this is a sketch of the same D&D character that I think I had mentioned earlier, Alice, who is a Asmar. This is a little sketch of her pseudo-dragon, Philip. And here is a better version, like final sketch of the pseudo-dragon, Philip, and this is one of the test prints. Another test print. This is a sketch of a rhododendron for my multitudes print, and this rhododendron actually was, I'll need to do an art talk on my multitudes print at some point, but it was a rhododendron that I saw at the Seattle Japanese Garden and sketched it from a reference photo that I had taken. These are my M series sketches, including just some other sketches of the birds themselves. This is actually the most recent. So these, which this one especially looks absolutely insane. This past weekend, when I'm filming this, so a few weekends ago from when y'all are seeing it, I attended the Art Ed Now conference through my full-time job. And one of their things to do was do a blind contour of a photo of an overwhelmed art teacher that they put up, and this is what came out for me. These were two separate ones, let me be clear. I didn't just leave a full gap between head and apron. I did head, and then I looked and I went, oh no. So then I tried doing like arm and apron with like some of the cups sitting on the counter, and that went a little bit better. That is it. And actually we do have like a few more pages in this one. I did start another sketchbook that I feel like is more so like my current one, but that is mostly because I went and did some figure drawing sessions a while ago now at this point and wanted like the option. I didn't want to run out of paper and I didn't want to bring 2 sketchbooks. So I brought that sketchbook, which is like my new one. So I guess I do still need to finish up this sketchbook, but that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to my Ko-fi subscribers for supporting me. If you are also interested in becoming a Ko-fi subscriber, you can subscribe for $1 a month to get monthly sketchbooks, behind the scenes content, and your name in this video. Or you can subscribe at $3 a month to get monthly digital backgrounds for desktop and mobile. If you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate it if you considered subscribing. I put up videos every Monday about my artwork as well as what it's like running a small art business. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!